Politics is a very interesting game. Yesterday, the Deputy President William Ruto left his office for a meeting with Raphael Tuju at Jubilee Party headquarters. He wanted to go there and discuss with Raphael Tuju about some upcoming by-elections which were announced by IEBC. Raphael Tuju was just in the office. In fact, he held a meeting with some Chinese. And when he heard that the Deputy President had left his office, Raphael Tuju disappeared. And when the Deputy President arrived, Raphael Tuju was nowhere. So they could not meet to discuss about those upcoming by-elections. And I did a comprehensive video on that earlier in the morning today. And then today, something very interesting also happened. Raphael Tuju invited the media to Jubilee Party headquarters. And to the shock of the entire country, Raphael Tuju announced that Jubilee Party will not sponsor a candidate for the Msambweni parliamentary by-election, which is scheduled for 15th of December. That was a shock to Jubilee Party members. And the moment the Deputy President watched Raphael Tuju making that announcement that they are not going to sponsor a candidate, and not only that, they are going to support the ODM candidate, the Deputy President stopped whatever he was doing, because he was also meeting some women in his office. So he left whatever he was doing, and the Deputy President drove straight and stormed Jubilee Party headquarters. So today I want us to look at why Raphael Tuju made that announcement, and what the Deputy President, the options which the Deputy President is left with. But before we do that, if you're watching this video for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Now let us begin by going through Raphael Tuju's letter, because that letter has some deeper meaning. Raphael Tuju is saying, statement on pending Msambweni parliamentary by-election. Following consultations within the party, it has been decided that Jubilee Party will not be fielding a candidate in the forthcoming Msambweni parliamentary by-election. We have received inquiries from some potentially strong aspirants who would have wished to contest the seat left vacant following the death of ODM legislator, the late Suleiman Dori. So Tuju is alleging that following consultations with who? If the Deputy President, who is the Deputy Party leader, came for a meeting with him, he was not there. Which consultation? And by who? So I want you to get that particular message, because we are going to understand it in just in a minute. And it's proceeding. In the internal consultations, we also considered other school of thoughts prevailing within the party that participating in the by-election is an important way of revitalizing the party at the grassroots level. However, the decision not to engage in the contest is informed by the facts prevailing at the moment when we face challenges like the recent advisory by the Chief Justice that Parliament should be dissolved. The Chief Justice just gave an opinion yesterday, just the other day. That opinion by the Chief Justice cannot stop Jubilee Party from sponsoring a candidate. It can't. But again, there are several legal issues which people can challenge. But the fact is that if Jubilee wanted to contest for this election, they can still go ahead and contest. And it's saying, it's proceeding. In other words, the country has very serious constitutional matters to deal with that will require sobriety and reaching across political divides in order to navigate our beloved country across some of these challenges. So that's again another message being sent to the Deputy President, that you've always opposed some of these things, and we are having problems with some of our members in supporting the President's agenda. So we are going to go outside there and get an ODM candidate, support him, so that because ODM is standing with us. And the interesting thing is that he's saying, with the unprecedented cooperation between Jubilee and ODM in Parliament in the recent past on matters of national importance, And given that this was an ODM seat, the decision has been made that Jubilee will not field a candidate in the interest of the bigger picture. This announcement has been made in good time so that any aspirant who has interest in Jubilee ticket has other pathways to running for this seat. So Jubilee is saying, if you are a member of Jubilee and you're planning to contest for this seat, please look for other option. And they're also stating something which is important, that ODM and Jubilee have been cooperating on several fronts in parliament. Now, if you go back to parliament, what has been happening? All the allies of the deputy president were kicked out of key parliamentary positions. So the president brought on board Wiper and ODM. So a message is being sent here. But now, let's forget about what is being sent there. Let us go for what is not being sent. I've always opined and maintained on this platform that Raphael Tuju ni mtu mdogo sana. David Murathe ni mtu mdogo sana. The bigger man, these guys are working on his behalf, is actually President Uhuru Kenyatta. And the biggest political mistake the deputy president has continued to commit is to fight David Murathe and Raphael Tuju. If I were to advise the deputy president, those two people are very innocent. The deputy president should train his gun on one man, President Uhuru Kenyatta. There is no way Raphael Tuju can come up with this kind of an announcement a day after the deputy president had left there without the approval of President Uhuru Kenyatta. But what message are we getting from this particular move by Raphael Tuju to make this huge announcement, or by the deputy president storming Jubilee Party headquarters? Number one, in my view, is that the deputy president is being told that it is over. In fact, if the deputy president intends to run for the presidency in 2022, the best thing he can do is to revive the collapsed Jubilee Assembly Center. Jubilee Party headquarters will not give the deputy president rule. They have told him it's over. So in this case, you can equate it to ile kufa manamba, kufa dereva, kufa manamba, kufa beria. The legs of Murathe, the legs of Raphael Tuju, and even President Uhuru Kenyatta, they have decided we'd rather fail. This guy can actually defeat us, but we're not going to hand him over this party. So that's the first message which the deputy president and his handlers must actually start understanding. The deputy president has refused to sign those divorce papers, but the fact is the divorce is there. He must sign them. If he can't sign them, he can't force Uhuru Kenyatta to sleep with him in the same bed. So that's a message which is coming out very clearly. Number two, which is also important, I think a trap is being laid for the deputy president. Jubilee Party has announced that they're not going to sponsor a candidate publicly. IBC has timelines. Assuming the deputy president will have his way and they get a candidate. Of course, as things stand today, as at now, Jubilee didn't have a candidate for the Msambweni parliamentary election. The only candidate the deputy president now had was this lady, Sharlete Mariam. This was an ODM person. So over the weekend, the deputy president went to this lady, convinced her to dump ODM party so that she was going to be given the Jubilee ticket. And the strategy was simple. The deputy president wanted to use a similar strategy he used in Kibra. He wants to test the youths, if the youths can support a youth. So he wanted to sponsor this lady fully, the way he did to Mariga, to test the power of the youths in this country. So these guys are laying for him a trap. They are not going to sponsor a candidate. So that's the first thing. And because they're not going to sponsor a candidate, the deputy president is going to sponsor a candidate, but on a different ticket. Let's just use the Miriam lady. Let's say the Sharlete Mariam is going to be sponsored now on another political party, on another ticket. That's what they want. So the deputy president will be forced to go and campaign for this lady, or which other candidate will emerge. So the moment the deputy president will go to campaign for the other candidate, that will be the end of the deputy president in Jubilee Party. Because Jubilee as a political party has decided that for them, they are going to support ODM candidate. So by deputy president going now outside there to support another candidate of another political party, it would simply mean that he's advancing the interest of another political party. So they're laying a trap for him. So once that trap is laid, then the deputy president will no longer come back and claim that he belongs to Jubilee Party. So that's the second thing. A trap is being laid for Jubilee Party. Number 3, which is coming out, is that the president, because I'm sure Raphael Tuju is talking on behalf of the president. The president is telling the deputy president that the handshake I had with my brother Raila Odinga is there to stay. So you either support it or you don't. And if you don't support it, I'm going to frustrate you. If you read keenly that Raphael Tuju's letter, it was alluding to the fact that the ODM party and Jubilee Party have been cooperating very smoothly on so many things, so many issues. The deputy president has never believed so. The deputy president believes that Raila Odinga is messing up Uhuru Kenyatta and Jubilee government. But these guys are telling him that the fact is handshake is here to stay. And that's why we are not going to sponsor a candidate. And he's saying in this letter, if you read it closely, he's saying, given that this seat was ODM seat, you know, they are emphasizing it was an ODM seat. And again, at the beginning, the first paragraph, they are also mentioning ODM following the death of ODM legislator. So they would have even said following the death of Suleiman Dori, not really to mention ODM. They are doing this to emphasize ODM. This letter has ODM almost mentioned 3 or 4 times, which is serious, politically speaking. So they are telling the deputy president that this handshake between Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta is here to stay. You can do what you want, you can go. Remember, Jubilee Party received how many billions? And ODM Party. So this party, this large sums of money are likely going to be used in Msambweni. And why I pity the deputy president is the fact that in Kibra, he had intended to try to rig that election. The system changed that last minute. What about Msambweni? It's going to try and do the same. In fact, let's not go to Msambweni. Let's go to the Uganda ward by election. He tried the same. These guys just changed the security apparatus in that area last minute. In Msambweni, now they are going to go full throttle. And the deputy president must be worried. Lastly, these guys are also sending a message to prospective Jubilee candidates that you must understand where power is. Power rests on this side of President Uhuru Kenyatta, not the other side. So we can decide who to give the certificate and who not to give certificates. So in my view, those are the messages we are getting. But what can the deputy president do under this circumstance? In my view, he has 3 options. The first option is just to sponsor a candidate. Identify one of those coastal-based political parties. I'm told Kadu Asili is planning to sponsor a candidate for the seat. So he can identify that candidate, support. Alternatively, the Sharlete Mariam can be given another ticket, one of the political parties which his allies have registered. Then they can go and campaign for her using that party. In fact, it would be very good for the deputy president to sponsor the lady on one of the political parties which is intending to use in 2022. Then if this lady is going to win, it's going to be a big plus. And in that case, it means the deputy president will have to go outside there and campaign for her. Number 3 is the deputy president can decide just to defy the party. On this, go to court, tell the party that you must sponsor a candidate, just create chaos. But ultimately, they'll not sponsor a Jubilee candidate because Raphael Tuju is the Secretary General. Who is the party leader? President Uhuru Kenyatta. Who else signs the letter? The Jubilee chairperson. The Jubilee chairperson, in my video yesterday, I indicated that the man has been telling the people down there, because that's where he comes from, that Jubilee was not going to sponsor a candidate. He started saying this almost 3 weeks ago. So I don't understand why the deputy president was convincing Mariam Sharlete to leave ODM. It would have been easier for him to sponsor this lady in ODM, make sure she wins the nominations, make sure the lady wins the seat. Once that's done, then the lady can now switch to Tanga. But the drama we are witnessing in Jubilee Party, my friend, I've never witnessed that kind of drama in any political party in this country. We've had so many major fallouts within political parties in this country, but it had never reached this stage. What we are witnessing in Jubilee Party today had never been witnessed in this country before. So let us wait and see how the deputy president is going to come out again and face this major challenge. By the time of doing this video, I'd not read the statement from the deputy president. He went to Jubilee House, but nothing had actually happened. Let us wait for his statement also. Then tomorrow we'll proceed with that analysis. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.